Last video was all about training, today's all about racing. In the coming weeks, I'll be racing a Zwift race nearly every single day, with one goal: I want to win a race. Before we start, my experience in Zwift races is very limited. I've done a total of 1 race as a cyclist and 6 races as a sports director. While I know the basic mechanics, I will make mistakes, but as always, every mistake is a lesson. Zwift racing has 4 racing categories: A, B, C, and D. Because my FTP is roughly about 210 watts or 1.85 watts per kilo, I'm in category D, the lowest category. Starting off, my first race is an individual time trial, 18 kilometers, 132 meters of elevation. I've never done a time trial on Zwift, so I have no clue what to expect. That being said, I made sure to already switch to a TT bike to make sure I don't start with a road bike here. Anyway, let's get racing. 3, 2, 1, let's go. My goal is to keep riding around 180 to 200 and see how long I can keep that going. We're now 5 minutes in. Oh, I'm feeling it though. I'm catching up with someone. That's pretty amazing. Then again, 30 people passed me already, so the balance is not in my favor. Oh, this hill hurts. Five and a half K to go. Keep going. Final kilometer. My first time trial ever. That was it. Oh, I'm done for. After a Zwift race finishes, there are 2 types of results: the unofficial ones in Zwift itself, and the official ones which we can find on the Zwift Power website. Taking a look at those results, we are lost, so that's quite depressing. I wouldn't exactly say that this result gives me a lot of confidence for the next couple of races, but hey, on the positive side, the only way is up. Anyway, on to race day 2 then. We've got 17.4 kilometers across the Greater London Flat, 68 meters of altitude, and most importantly, not an individual time trial, a road race. Important to note, Zwift races are kind of like cyclocross races, where the first kilometer is so explosive that the peloton already obliterates in multiple groups across the road. Day 2, let's try not to get lost this time. Let's go. Oh, this is a rough start. Come on. Still here. Nah. I'll drop back to the next group. That start was insane. I could not hold on to that front group. Gotta hold on over the top. In their wheel. Oh god, no gap now, no gap now. Fuck. Gotta drop back until I find a group that I can follow. I ended up finding 2 riders I could at least follow. They tried to attack me on the next uphill ramp, but that did not end well for one of them. The French guy is dropped. 1.9k to go. I'm proud of that one. I really am. I'm so proud. What a race, man. What a bloody race. One thing is certain, I prefer road races versus time trials by quite a bit. Looking at the results, 30th out of 38 people, so I'm not last. That's a win in my book. This race did confirm that the start is super vital, because while I did spend more energy at the start to stay with the first group as long as possible, I got a massive advantage in time on people that dropped earlier. And I believe that advantage that I got outweighs the energy expenditure that I went through in the red to stay with that first group for a bit longer. Anyway, in terms of data, the Breakaway app told me that I broke my 30-minute power in this race, which I'm pretty happy about. From 172 watts to 189 watts. I will say this is probably because I had never done a 30-minute real effort before. Next up, another road race, a circuit race. Roughly 7.5 laps around the downtown Dolphins map, resulting in 13.5 kilometers with 100 215 meters of altitude. There's a climb every single lap, the prime forward climb, not the hardest, 200 meters at 4%, but it is cobbled, so I'll have to channel my inner Flandrien. I made a small mistake. I kept my heating on, and it's really hot in here, so let's hope this fan does its work. Let's go. Oh? That was a bit too fast? Slower start than yesterday. In the first group now. The prime climb. Still in the group. Nice. Almost halfway, still in group 1, but I think I'm dropping the next 2 rounds. I can't. After I dropped, 2 riders joined me, and in the last lap, they absolutely torched me. That's a good result. Oh yeah. That was fantastic. I was able to stay with Group 1 past halfway the race, and for the first time so far, I felt competitive in some shape or form. And most importantly, in the official results, I got my first podium. I came second out of 5 participants, but that small detail we'll leave to the side, okay? Anyway, this was a massive improvement for me. I broke my 20-minute power record. It stood at 201 watts since I did my 20-minute FTP test a few videos ago. Now it's 206 watts. Anyway, in our previous 2 races, all competitors in the race were Category D riders. Today I'll try a mixed race. This means riders from Category A, B, C, and D will be on the road together. But when it comes to the results, only the riders in Category D count. I went to bed half broken yesterday, but here we are, day full. Let's go. This race was instantly chaotic. I did not know where I was compared to any other Category D rider. Riders from Categories A, B, and C were flying past me. That's when I found the man named Morris. He was probably getting quite frustrated because I could not take a single turn here. This guy's attacking me! And I'm back. A handful of riders joined us, and that's when a Spanish man attacked at the front. He would go on to win the race in our category, but I did not give up. I wanted that podium, and nobody would stand in its way. This is the hill. If I can follow here, I can make it to the finish with them. Sprint, I think. No! Ah! Fuck! Ah! What can I say? I just sprinted too early and gave Morris a lead out. I can't believe I did that. Anyway, I lost a sprint for second. I finished third out of 9 participants, but that means we still podium. Once again a podium, the second time in a row. I can be quite happy with that. Next to that, I broke both my 15-minute and 20-minute power records, the last of which is now on 208 watts, so a 2 watt improvement. Our next race is our most difficult race yet. 16 kilometers with 2 climbs, a shorter uncategorized climb, and then the Titan's Grove climb, which is 2.6 kilometers at 2.2%. For most people, that is falls flat. For riders in my weight category, that's extremely painful. Let's go. in the group, so that's great. 6.5 kilometers to go, and now the climbing starts. I've got a friend. This end. That was painful. I blew up completely trying to follow the peloton on that first initial climb, but I am quite happy about my sprint in the end. I was the only one in the group that really timed my sprint correctly in that descent. While I was absolutely getting wrecked on the climb, I did break my 30-minute power. I absolutely destroyed it from 189 watts to 202 watts, so that's amazing. Race 6 and 7 followed a very similar pattern to the races we already had. I was able to stick with the front group for the majority of the race, but at some point I could not follow the best rider of my category. Towards the end of the race, I was fighting for a podium and I succeeded. In race 6, I finished second. In race 7, I finished third. But now comes our last race, our last opportunity to take a victory in the Category D races before I have to venture over to Belgium to record my next video. The race is 16 kilometers, 8 times the Bell Lap. Remember that circuit race we did earlier this video? The one with the cobbled climb? It's basically that race in the opposite direction. Anyway, it's our final chance, it's now or never. Let's go. We're still in group 1. I'm getting in difficulty. Last lap. Come on. This is my best chance ever. Wow, this was not only my best race yet, but also my best day on a bike maybe ever. I was able to stick with the front group the entire race, and in the end I was simply beaten by better riders. On the results page I receive a silver medal, so once again a podium, but no victory. So while I did not win a race in this video, we started coming last in our first race. Now we're getting second and third consecutively. But I can tell you, I loved opening the breakaway app after this ride. I broke my 3-minute power record marginally from 280 watts to 282, but I absolutely destroyed my 20-minute power record from 208 watts to 221. During these last 2 weeks of Zwift racing, I've made massive progress when it comes to my absolute watts. I've broken power records left and right. That's great, that's amazing, but it came at a cost. I found it much harder to keep myself at a balanced diet these last 2 weeks, and instead of losing weight, I gained weight. In January, I started the year on 110 kilograms with an estimated FTP of 190 to 198 watts. I've gained 4 kilos since then. I'm currently on 114 kilos with an estimated FTP from 215 roughly to 227. So I've gained 3% of weight and 15% of absolute watts during that same period. If only there was a metric that would display my absolute watts relative to my weight, something like watt per kilo. In January, my estimated watt per kilo FTP was between 1.72 and 1.8 watt per kilo. Currently, it's between 1.89 and 1.99 watt per kilo, so that's a 10% improvement. I'll be honest, in an ideal world, I would see my absolute watts and my weight both going in the right direction. But that not being the case doesn't necessarily demotivate me. I'm the one that can make that happen, and I believe I can. That's it for today. Next time we're going to be doing a VO2 max test with a sprinkle of autoquadamond. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.